Okay, so in today's video we are going to be fixing this crack. There was a previous subsidence problem in the building that is no longer an issue, but this is solid. It's not actually moving, it's not going anywhere, but we still need to fix the crack in an effective way. This stone on the right, because of the way the crack's going that way, is kind of acting like a keystone, the way you would see above the door. So this is fully resting on that, and it's not going anywhere. We're still going to stitch it together. There's several ways you could do this. One way, which is the way that I originally wanted to do it, was to be drilling holes in here, sealing off the front of the crack and injecting resin in, and the resin fills up the whole crack. But chatting with the owner of the building, the kit to do that's costing like 250 quid. So we're going to go for stitching with steel rods instead. So we're going to do some cutting back, and we're going to stitch up and inject 2-part injection mortar, polyester resin, and put some steel rods in. And then obviously we're going to be fixing up the front of the stone as well, in a similar way that we did on the kneeler of the building. Guess when you're putting videos out there you should show best practice, so I'll be using a mask.
Okay, so we are actually cutting into the crack itself. We're going to widen the recess so that we can actually get resin into the crack area before we put the stitch lines in, and we're going about 1 centimeter deep with the stitch lines. This is only a facade fix, we're not having to create a structural fix here. Also, we don't want to go all the way through with our drill holes.
Can of compressed air, blow out the crack. Okay, ready to get stitching. So let's show you what I'm going to use. So I've got some stainless steel crack stitching rods. These are usually for stitching together cracks and brickwork, but stainless steel, which means they won't rust. This will do the job. I'm going to cut them into about 15 centimeter lengths.
Pretty easy to cut these rods with an angle grinder. You can probably use snips as well. But anyway, we're going to do a dry fit of these rods before we put any resin in. We want to make sure that they're recessed enough, and I had to actually do a bit of adjustment here, do a bit more grinding to make them fit. Remember that this crack's stitching is more about the facade. It's not a structural fix, it's just so that the crack doesn't reappear under the render.
Yeah, Arcare 2 hybrid resin. This is actually for anchor supports, so you would fill in, but it's really good for this kind of thing as well, and it's going to go off extremely quickly. So we're going to fill the holes back as far as they go, and we're going to fill in these sections and all down through the crack, and then we're going to push steel rods into it like so, and then we're also going to put some on the top, and I'm wearing nitrile gloves and I will smooth it in with my nitrile gloves. You don't want to get resin on your skin. So we're going to stick it in the mastic gun. Might bring the camera a little bit closer for this part. So just get rid of that crap bit of resin at the top.
For stone restorations, obviously we want to use as many natural materials as possible, but when it comes to a fix like this, I find that this kind of polymer resin is really good for this kind of a job. It really sticks to the stone really well, it's really structurally good, and for a crack like this, it's going to be really sound. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about using resin on stone.
Pick them up like this so you don't get any resin on your hands. Boom, job done. So it's been about 5 minutes since I squirted out the first bit of resin onto the scaffolding there, and it's rock solid. But yeah, this section, pretty similarly to the kneeler on the corbel, is going to be mended with Bath Stone lime based mortar. While that's going off, I might as well take you up. Go and say hello to my buddy Foss. slapping out some lead. Show us, do that again. New lead channels. All the way down there is going to be new lead. So we're making big progress on this job now. So that's already gone off. It's been about 10-15 minutes. Rock solid. Bit messy here, we're going to grind that back. So that's got resin right at the back of the holes that I drilled, all the way back in there. It's got resin rods, steel rods, I'm stitching it all together. So that shouldn't reappear. It won't reappear. So now we're on to fixing the actual look of the stone. We want it to look like nice. So we're going to take the grinder and score some lines in here. We're going to get rid of any dusty material. We have to go back probably about 5 millimeters at least. Get rid of this dusty material. And right over here, all of this is good sound stone. Haven't decided whether I'm going to just render the whole stone or just blend it together. It'll look better, but it's going to be lime washed anyway, so it doesn't matter. Mask.
Definitely a mask is essential here. We're not just grinding stone, but we're also grinding resin, and none of that stuff is good for your lungs. So yeah, mask is essential. And I'm going to start carving in some lines into the stone so that the render has something to have purchase on. I do actually go a bit deeper later on, probably off camera. And then I'm going to spray down the whole thing and get rid of any dust and loose materials with some air spray. You might wonder what the water is. That's the accelerant, and it basically evaporates immediately.
You can see how the stitches turned out. Ground back, and it's solid all the way down. And we've also cross-hatched so that we can get the render on and it's not just going to pop off. So it's getting a bit late in the day for me to think about rendering this now. So maybe, what's your opinion? The stitch is sound. That crack won't reappear underneath the render. So that's the kneeler, which we rendered the whole way across. That looks great. But you can also see that the face of the stone all the way along, it's got lots of hitting, and I mean I already mended that corner over there, but I'm thinking we just grind off the surface layer very, very slightly so it goes back to the natural bath stone, carve in the lines and render the whole front of the frame in the Bath Stone lime mortar. As fate has it, I should have charged my batteries last night. So I've managed to grind off the front. Got to charge my batteries, and while I charge my batteries, I might as well paint the front door. Bingo, let's go.
Once you got your lines ground into the stone, you got to brush the whole thing down and get rid of dust and this material. I actually got my vacuum cleaner out and vacuumed it up as well. You really don't want any loose material. And then we're going to spray down the whole thing, and all of that water is dripping off any other loose material.
Once again, we're using Rowland Premix Bath Stone lime-based ready-mix stone repair and rendering mortar. So yeah, let's mix it up. Because we added the water first, we're not going to get any little dry corners or dry pockets of mortar in the corners of the bucket. Okay, so I've got 2 buckets, one with a slightly wetter mix for the skim render, and one with a slightly thicker mix, and the thicker one is for the deeper parts and around the corners. So yeah, that's why I've got 2 mixes. Go on ahead, Kieran.
Oh, right now, get that. Out of the way.
Trying to film a blockbuster film here.
Yeah.
That's my buddy Kieran way up the ladder there.
There you go.
So you might remember from my needle restoration video that you need to absolutely saturate the stone before applying your render. Some people might use a pre-grit or kind of bonding agent, but actually Bath Stone on Bath Stone works really, really well.
It's actually just started to rain, just spittling for now. I've got my camera under the gable there, but I'll try and get this on as quick as we can. So I'm just using a small trowel. Don't need a big trowel, and I'm also using this. We're going to cover it over as well with hessian once we're done. Keep the rain, keep the cold off it. Yes. First half is done. Oh shit, here comes the boss.
Yeah, it's looking nice, Michael, isn't it? Oh, fuck, good for you. Hello.
What do you reckon?
It's good. It's good, man.
It's getting there. It's just the first part, and he's
Fucking Corbels.
finishing, and then we'll sponge it down at the end.
Looks fucking fantastic, that Corbels, doesn't it?
The corbel's good though, right? Awesome. Say hello to the internet. I'm all out of render, so we're going to mix another bucket. I'm not going to bother filming the rest of this because I just need to get to work and get this done before the end of the day. So I'll show you the finished result. Oops. Had to stop filming there for a little bit because the owner of the building came up the ladder. I didn't want to be filming and being very professional, so just carrying on a bit of rendering with this far. Just this little corner to do, and then we're done. And it's gone on pretty smooth. So there's a few little areas where I'm going to fill with a smaller trowel, and then we're going to wet sponge instead of fluting. Sometimes you might get a little air pocket underneath, which we really don't want. Stick the edge of the trowel up the air pocket.
Truth be told, rendering is not my forte. You're probably picking up my mistakes as I go. If you want a real rendering professional, check out On The Trowel. That guy is the nuts.
So I don't know if the camera's picking it up. The majority of that's pretty smooth. I'm quite happy with that actually. A few little dents here and there. I'm not going to be skimming it out because I don't want to be raising the level of the stone too much. So I'm going to go around and just patch up any little dents with this little trowel, like here, and then we'll give it a wet sponge down.
You got the snips?
Okay. All rendered, nice sharp corners, as you can see, and we're going to give it a sponge down. I've got a wet mix of mortar mix here and a wet sponge. I'm kind of dipping it into the wet mix of mortar. We're just going to smooth out any little dents and cracks. It's nice and smooth. So mortar end and a clean end. So there we go. That's the job done today. Friday, weekend off. Come back on Monday and we'll see how everything is. I'm interested in people's opinions and comments and conversations, so if you've got anything to say about the process, anything that you would do differently, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always trying to learn more and do a better job. I've got a few sneaky suspicions that I'll get a few comments about a few things on this one, so I'm looking forward to having that chat in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and it's the first time you've seen my channel, you might also enjoy the video where I restored the kneeler, which is somewhere on the screen now. But yeah, I think this is the last video before Christmas, so happy Christmas to everyone. And if these videos keep doing well, which they seem to be doing, I'll maybe see you in another video in January, because there's a lot more to do in this building. I might as well keep filming it. Happy Christmas and bye bye.